you go. Hi, everybody. It's P-Dawg Night. Welcome to the Morning Night Live, and I do have my reparations coffee ready, and I'm going to just kind of jump into it kind of quick because I am running a little late this morning, obviously. And first of all, I do want to say happy birthday to Jaeger Pony, a good old 36 years old, or 35? 35, sorry. Boomer eyes are having trouble here. Hey, good morning. I want to say hi to Tyler F., who was my first person in the chat this morning. Diesel Dave, who I played the music way too loud for. Hey, I turned up the gain on my mic so I could make it easier for you to hear, Dave. Just for you. Let's see who else is here. Sean DW, and lots of me, because I've been talking all morning. Zombie Teddy, Diesel Dave, Jaeger Pony, Ezoob, and that's it so far, but people are rolling in. That's a great thing. I will, for some reason, every time I change my, I change the Twitter, or excuse me, the avatar and everything for, it's a little quiet. What do you mean it's a little quiet? Are you serious? Here, let's try this. Is that better? Hello? Hi, Chadwick Dupree. Is that better? How can it be a little quiet? Or is the music too quiet? Or are you just making fun of Diesel Dave? I'm just wondering. Anyway, good morning, Smarty Bear. I see you dropped in too. So, hey, we're getting ready to roll here. If you would like, you can hit right down here. You can hit that share button and share this out with people you know. Or you can just retweet the tweet that I just put in the chat. You can check that out. The link you're putting up to Twitter is not linking to this stream. Well, let's try this again then. No, I'm not having a boomer moment. I know that for some reason when I change the information in YouTube, I go and change the information, and for whatever, it still puts the old information up. Is this not the same link? Yeah, it links to the right stream. It just doesn't say that. I don't know why it does that. It won't change. For some reason, there's a lag in when it changes. What are you laughing at? I just had to turn down my... Oh, okay. Oh, you had to turn on your stereo. Okay, well, I know. I know the music in the beginning is pretty loud, but it's just how it is. So, hi. I'll talk to you now. I'm so busy looking at my screen. I'm going to talk to you and say good morning. So, couple funny things this morning. One, yesterday we spent a lot of time on the college cheating scandal, on the people who are paying to get their kids into schools by, let's just say they were assuming identities, and so to speak, assuming identities of disabled people so they could get a little longer on the test, or they were assuming the identities of athletes that did not exist so that coaches could say they were recruits and get them into schools. And so I thought today, one of the funniest things that I saw yesterday in relation to that story was this story. This was hilarious when I saw it. So let's pop it up here. Irony, Elizabeth Warren says she has zero sympathy for college admissions scam. This was funny. Blow out. What? Yeah, I know the music's loud. Anyway, on Wednesday, Democratic presidential hopeful Elizabeth Warren, Democrat, Massachusetts, weighed in on the Felicity Huffman, Lori Loughlin-centric college admissions scam that has taken the nation by storm. Daily Wire's Emily Zanotti reported yesterday. So you all know, if you were here yesterday, you know all about it. Hey, Captain Brambles, nice to see you. Nearly 50 people have been charged in a massive college entrance exam and cheating bribery plot, according to Federal Bureau of Investigations, including a number of high-profile CEOs and Hollywood actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman. By the way, I think I figured out why their husbands weren't named in the scam is because apparently these two women were doing it on their own, and the checks just happened to be from their family. Anyway, in all, 33 parents, including Loughlin and Huffman, allegedly paid a collective sum of $25 million to a college admissions counselor named William Singer, according to ABC News, who then bribed college officials, coaches, and college entrance exam administrators, who then helped the students secure admissions, not on their merits, but through fraud. Okay. The FBI contends that Singer's bribes went to officials at some of the most elite colleges in the country, including Yale, Stanford, UCLA, Georgetown, University of San Diego, Wake Forest, the University of Texas, and the University of Southern California, and to college entrance exams administrators, for both the SAT and ACT. It turns out that Warren, whose exceedingly dubious claim to Cherokee ancestry has dogged her for much of her legal, academic, and political career, has some thoughts on the kerfuffle. Per Fox News, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat in Massachusetts, has said she has zero sympathy for parents caught up in the college cheating scandal during a Wednesday appearance on MSNBC. Warren did not elaborate on her feelings after being asked the question as part of a number of rapid-fire questions posed by Morning Joe co-host Mika Brzezinski. That would be a rather ironic sense of moral indignation for someone of alleged 1/1024th Cherokee ancestry, who nonetheless thought it fit to rely upon that purported ancestry as part of her application for the State Bar of Texas. Perhaps Warren ought to consider that she is not the most well-suited spokesperson for this particular crusade. Indeed, some conservatives, I'm surprised that she isn't getting dragged by everybody on this. But anyway, she said, indeed, some conservatives on Twitter quickly called out Warren. Elizabeth Warren said she had zero sympathy for the parents involved in the college admissions cheating scandal. It's ironic that she's so offended given that she lied about being a minority to climb the Ivy League ladder. Ben Shapiro. Blah! That's all you need to do, right? That's all you need to do, just laugh. And apparently she has steep odds of getting the Democratic nomination. And I'm sorry, but if I'm any Democrat, and this isn't just, it's not just Trump. I think any Democrat should be bringing that up in the Democratic primaries. Her, she was listed as the first minority faculty at Harvard Law School. So anyway, that's I think that's really the only reason I named this thread as my identity. My identity. Talking about my identity. Talking about my identity. You can't say I'm not a minority, talking about my identity. Okay. So, that's that. Now, what else do we got here? I actually got a couple here because there's a whole bunch of articles related to this scandal, but I also thought this was kind of funny. So, in the scandal, there's a businessman from New York named... who's charged. His name is Gregory Abbott. And he's, founder and chairman of a packaging company for the food and beverage industry. Okay. And also he was part of some clothing manufacturer. I don't know. His name is Gregory Abbott. Now, of course, people saw the name Gregory Abbott, and if you know anything, if you follow any politics at all, you would also know that the Republican governor of Texas is also named Greg Abbott. So this is predictable, because when I saw that, I'm like, well, that's not the Greg Abbott from Texas. So when I saw this particular article, I thought this was funny too. DCCC official wrongly accuses Texas Governor Abbott of being involved in college bribery scheme. A Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee official falsely accused Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott in a now-deleted tweet of being involved in the major college bribery scandal. Operation Varsity Blues, An investigation by the FBI led to the indictment of celebrities, billionaires, and college athletic coaches for allegedly participating in a massive fraud scheme that ensured unqualified students could gain admission to several top-tier universities. One individual named in the indictment is Gregory Abbott, who resides with his wife, Marcia, in New York City and Aspen, Colorado. Abbott is described as the founder and chairman of a packaging company for the food and beverage industry and the former chairman and CEO of a private label clothing manufacturer. Despite the fact that Governor Abbott lives in Texas and his wife's name is Cecilia, the DCCC's Director of National Candidate Services, Taylor Coleman, claimed that the Abbott listed in the indictment must be the same man as the Texas governor. And she tweeted, "Maybe if Governor Greg Abbott spent less time dog whistling about brown people voting, he could have helped his kids prepare for the SATs instead of bribing their way into college. What an embarrassment." So the National Republican, whatever CC, tweeted back at her, DCCC's Director of National Candidate Service just deleted this tweet. We hate to speculate, but it's probably because she realized Texas Governor Greg Abbott doesn't live in New York City, isn't 68 years old, and doesn't have a wife named Marcia. Yeah, so we kind of expected that to happen. Hello, Maniac Man. Welcome to the show. By the way, everybody, of course, I didn't put that on the screen. I'm so glad you're here. I really am. I really appreciate all of you. And and thanks to you too. If you now, I don't have super chats on my stream, so if you do want to do super chats, you can do them down here in the description on the Streamlabs link. Somebody will probably pop it up there. It's in the description though. Hello, Seamus Derby. Nice to see you. Inserted foot firmly in mouth. Absolutely. What a moron. Also funny happening. Oh, here's a good one too. Now the reason I wanted, we're going to watch a video today. Here's what I need to find out. I want to make sure that you can hear things in my stream today. So let's see. Tell me if you hear music. Give me 1 second here. Just tell me if you hear music. Right?
Last January, 16-year-old Nicholas Sandman was falsely targeted.
So I started the beginning of a video just to see if you could hear it. If you heard the beginning of a video, just put one in the chat, and then we're gonna talk about this too, because apparently thank you, Chadwick. Apparently the lawsuit that I've been waiting for, that we've been hearing about for the last couple of days, is happening. And then I'm going to show you the video here. Nick Salmon's lawyer releases video blasting CNN and the Washington Post. Now, they did file the lawsuit against CNN, and it's so anyway, I'm stumbling over my words here. Nope, no music. It was just words, but you could hear words, right? Anyway, we'll see in a second. L. Lynn Wood, PC, the law firm representing Covington Catholic High School student Nicholas Sandman, released a video on Wednesday attacking CNN, the Washington Post for their reckless lies about the high schooler. Not that one. This week, Sandman's legal team filed. Here, I'm going to open that in another tab. Filed a $275 million lawsuit against CNN for the false attacks the leftist news network made against Sandman in January. One of Sandman's attorneys, Todd McMurdy, appeared on Fox News Tuesday where he said it is a significant lawsuit seeking $75 million in compensatory damages and $200 million in punitive damages from CNN. Sandman's legal team then released a video on Wednesday highlighting the danger that major media organizations pose to a society as a whole with the divisive narratives they push. Okay, so I'm going to just skip that wording and let the video speak for itself. Let's see. I'm going to make so I can see this in YouTube. Here, we'll pause it now. Just a second. And let me know if you cannot hear this. There, we'll put it in a nice big YouTube window because we're going to stop this. We may stop this a couple times while we're listening. So if you cannot hear it, pop a 2 in the chat. And if not, just leave it leave it blank. But let me know if you cannot hear this. I'll start it right now. Here we go.
Last January, 16-year-old Nicholas Sandmann was falsely targeted, attacked, vilified, and threatened. The Washington Post, owned by the richest man in the world, led the print media's false attacks against Nicholas's reputation. CNN led the broadcast media's charge against Nicholas. Both recklessly spread lies about a minor to advance their own financial and political agendas. Despite raw video debunking the false narrative, the Post and CNN double down on their reckless lies.
He clearly doesn't blame himself. He puts the blame on the adults.
Lies that will forever haunt and endanger the life of...
Now, when that... I'm assuming you could all hear this because no one said anything, so that's good. Her saying, he clearly... What did she say? Hang on. Let's listen. I want to hear what this... I don't want to call her a hoe, but let's hear what this hoe says.
Himself. He put...
Here, a little farther.
Lies.
He clearly doesn't blame himself. He puts the blame on the adults.
He clearly doesn't blame himself. He puts the blame on the adults. This moron... Now, I'm wondering what the date was when she said that. I mean, even if... well, it doesn't matter because CNN didn't back off of the story for 4 or 5 days when they clearly could have done a little bit of their own due diligence and research. So, God, I hope that... I mean, this kid, I hope he's a very wealthy kid someday. Here we go.
Lies that will forever haunt and endanger the life of an innocent young man.
I blame that f***ing kid. What a little...
Now, Bill Maher has no excuse whatsoever, except for the fact that once the story has a narrative, and you hear that narrative, you really don't go back and try to learn anything else about the story unless someone tells you to, until someone forces you to. And that's why this... But you know what? He has a research team too. He doesn't... But whatever. Here we go.
Lies that further divided our nation. How long will we allow these media giants to tear at the fabric of our lives to further their own agendas? Will they ever be held accountable?
Lawyers representing Nicholas Sandmann have just filed a bombshell defamation suit.
Yes, they will. Nicholas Sandmann has taken a stand for himself and for you by filing major lawsuits against CNN and the Washington Post. Nicholas and his legal team will not be stopped until these Goliath corporations are held accountable for their lack of journalistic integrity. Until then, no one's reputation is safe.
If you took the time to look at the full context of what happened that day, Nicholas Sandmann did absolutely nothing wrong. If they can get away with this against a 16-year-old boy, then we're all at risk. There has to be change.
Yeah, this dude's this L. Lynn Wood or whatever this law firm is just killing these guys. I think, you know, one thing that I've heard is part of the defense that these media companies are going to try to come up with is they're going to try to say that Nick Sandmann is a public figure. Now, here's what they're trying. Here's how they're trying to tell you that. What they're saying is that because he was thrust in the media spotlight so quickly, that he becomes what's called an accidental public figure, which is if they get away with that, that is the most scandalous pile of BS I've ever heard, because the reason he is known now is because of this event, which actually, you know, the number one person that they should be suing, and I know it's coming, is Chief Lying Fire Pants. Now I know Nathan Phillips. That's who, because he lied multiple times about this incident. But to make him an accidental public figure means that prior or sometime during this event, he became a public figure, and then they could keep lying about him. The problem is, prior to this event, nobody on the planet knew who Nick Sandmann was. By the way, let me do a real quick thank you to Jaeger Pony, who has a super chat via Streamlabs. Whoa, wow, I did $20, man. That your cut of my birthday money? It's your birthday and I'm getting presents, dude. That is so kind of you. That's amazing. I appreciate you every time you drop by, and I'm stunned. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. Man, you could write more for that though. Tell you what, I'm a little verklempt. I really appreciate that. So, especially with stuff that's going on, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so thank you, Jaeger Pony. P-Dag, no. Oh, Diesel, Dave, you want a wrench? Is that, you keep asking me for, that's the second time you mentioned wrench. Oh, you know what? You know what, Dave? Here you go. Because you must not be driving today. And let me look through. Oh, well, you know what? None of my moderators are here. All right, Dave, you can be my moderator for the day. There we go. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go, Dave. You can be a moderator for me. You can help me out. Keep everyone in line. I appreciate it. Anyway, let's get back to Nick Sandmann here. I have a feeling that Nick Sandmann is going to be a very wealthy kid, because I don't think any of these media companies want this to go to. Well, I'm not passing out wrenches. Don't get me started. I'm not giving out wrenches. I don't have a moderator today. Okay, so here's the thing. I know what's going to happen. Eventually, y'all are going to have wrenches, and then you can all moderate each other. I don't know. You know what? Y'all are so cool in chat. I don't even worry about that. The only time I had a troll one day though. It was during the. I had a troll who seemed to be switching accounts and jumping in and out because Sarah was in there trying to swat down the fly, and it just kept popping up. And it was the day that we were driving to Oshkosh when Lady Boomer and I were on, and I was almost kind of excited because it was my first troll. But anyway, what's the F for? What the hell? F? I don't even know what the F means. Anyway, back into Nick Sandmann. Here's the article right here. Oh, here I want to do this one too, because this is when they revealed that they are actually doing this $275 million suit. It was filed. Let's see. Let's go into this article real quick. Sorry about that. Nick Sandmann's lawyer reveals massive $275 million lawsuit against CNN. Lawyers for the Covington Catholic High School student Nick Sandmann filed a $275 million lawsuit against CNN Tuesday for smearing Sandmann earlier this year. Fox News reported that the lawsuit was filed just after 3 p.m. in U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Kentucky, and claimed that CNN elevated false, heinous accusations of racist conduct against Sandmann and failed to adhere to well-established journalistic standards and ethics. Attorney Todd McMurdy appeared on Fox News The Story on Tuesday, where he said it is a significant lawsuit seeking $75 million in compensatory. We already read that. Here, let's just check this out. We'll just let them say.
Fox News alert. They warned it was coming, and now it is official. Attorneys for Covington Catholic student Nicholas Sandmann just filed a bombshell lawsuit against CNN for $75 million.
Oh, I was going
they
to buy a
allege
bell
vicious and direct attacks on their client, seen in this viral encounter with Native American Nathan Phillips. The lawsuit comes less than 1 month after the same attorney sued the Washington Post for $250 million. Here now exclusively is Todd McMurtry, co-counsel for Nicholas Sandmann. Todd, thank you for coming on the program tonight. So first off, this is breaking news. We're just now bringing this to our audience. What can you tell us?
Well, we just filed the lawsuit today in the federal district court in Kentucky, the Eastern District. And as you said earlier, it is a significant lawsuit seeking $75 million in compensatory damages and $200 million in punitive damages from CNN.
What specifically does this lawsuit highlight about what we are seeing in that video and what happened in the minutes and hours that followed?
Well, no, I'm not. I was going to answer this for it, but I'll just let him hear his answer. Good morning, hey Camel, how you doing? Who else showed up? Reason Vision, hi there. You're the one who did the F, I see. And Zombie Teddy, were you here earlier? Good morning to you too. Who else is new? Anyway, let's finish this.
Well, what CNN's tagline is facts first, and what we believe they're
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Reporting was in this circumstance was lies first, cover-up second, and facts not yet determined by that organization. So the difference between this lawsuit and the other lawsuit that we have filed is that CNN is a very significant media organization with a much broader reach than, say, the Washington Post. It has Twitter followers of 41 million people. It published 4 videos, 9 online articles that were tweeted out. So that's millions and millions and millions of repetitions of the lies and falsehoods that CNN spread.
And what was the impact on Nicholas Sandmann, this high school student?
Well, we've talked about the impact on Nicholas Sandmann a number of times, and it is significant. Nicholas Sandmann was a 16-year-old young man who had a perfect reputation. He was loved by his parents, respected at his school, and had many good friends at Covington Catholic High School. So he was a person that was doing very well in life, and due to his strong character, he still is. But nevertheless, his character has now been determined by the lies issued by CNN. So the facts were not first, the lies were.
And this, of course, wasn't just what went out on television.
You know, I mean, and now if you've been, hey, Joy Z, welcome to a new subscriber, by the way. And Jan, good morning, everybody. Is it early for you, Joy? Oh, Joys of Sorrow. That's an interesting name, like that. Anyway, good morning, welcome to the show. Yeah, it's funny that, good point. Yeah, it would mean anyone accused of anything that's thrown in the public spotlight would have no recourse. Right, yeah, you know what? Before, it's too easy. That's a too easy thing for a judge to slap down. They're going to laugh if someone tries to use that defense. This kid would never have been in the spotlight if it weren't for these news organizations. They elevated him completely.
That day, it wasn't just what went out in print media. It was also about a social media impact that we all witnessed. And I know that you were talking about in this lawsuit, online, Twitter, 7 a.m., the network was retweeting this short snippet that so many got to know when this story was starting to unfold.
Correct. Sending out a short snippet like that at 7 a.m. after the event happens is totally irresponsible, completely negligent, and in our view, subject to punitive damages. They did this without any reasonable investigation. They took something straight off Twitter that had been, in essence, manipulated so that it told one story, and they reported it as the truth.
Is there any choice that you're giving the network at this point to respond, to limit potential damages?
We have issued an opportunity for CNN to retract. They did not retract within the timeline provided for by Kentucky law. So they're
yeah, that's very important. They did send out, I think, to 50 different entities. So between news organizations and individuals, they sent all these letters out to give everyone a chance to retract. And via Kentucky law, there's an X number of days that they have to respond and to adhere to the request. That time frame is over. Good morning, Word Lotus. Welcome here. By the way, down there somewhere, I can't even see where down there. Hit that share button. Call your friends, call your neighbors, Call your wife, hide your wife, whatever that thing was. That's a meme anyway.
Opportunity to retract is now passed. So we will proceed for our lawsuit for both compensatory and punitive damages.
So there's no opportunity still for them to respond?
Too late.
No.
Too late.
Not under the law. If they
Too
try
late.
to do it now under the law, it's too late.
They
can
have
certainly
lawyers.
do
They
that
should know.
if they choose to on their own accord. But it does not,
Too late,
it would not
bitches.
affect the lawsuit from a legal standpoint.
Of course, it was the Washington Post, and now you're outlining an even bigger sum of money in this particular lawsuit against CNN. Are there others that will follow here?
Sir.
Well, they sent out 50 original letters, so I'm sure there's going to be quite a few people to follow. I'm waiting for the one for Chief Lying Fire Pants because the dude, I don't think the dude has any money, but I still want to see that lawsuit. I want to see that dude in court trying to tell his story and then having the cross-examination show him all the videos of every point that he lied about. Good morning, Reed Terrapin. Nice to see you. And you know what? Nick Salmon's not going to get $275 million from CNN. Nick Salmon's not going to get $250 million from the Washington Post. He's not going to get, of all these lawsuits. But what is going to happen is either these biggest entities are going to settle, or they're gonna try to tie him up in court forever. But you know what? I got a feeling that there are plenty of people who will back Nick Salmon for as long as this takes. And I don't know if CNN wants to play with this. He's a minor. The rules for minors are different from anybody else, especially, and he's not a public figure. They're going to try to put this accidental public figure bullshit. Ain't going to work. Anyway, let's finish this one up.
We're looking at other potential defendants. We plan to file a suit every few weeks or month. We probably have at least 10 top targets in the media and individuals, some of whom were people that were involved in Twitter attacks. But certainly there are defendants to come, others that will be given an opportunity to retract those statements. And we'll give them that opportunity first, so they'll have an opportunity to retract.
So do those outlets already know about this? I mean, are you naming names? Can you tell us tonight?
As to whom we
There's
are looking
probably
at,
quite a
who we
few.
think crossed the line,
Yeah.
Certainly we're looking very closely at NBC. We're looking very
Hell yeah.
closely at AP.
Hell yeah.
We're looking very closely at HBO for the conduct of Bill Maher.
I should
we're
go
looking at
straight
some
for
of
Bill
the,
Maher.
People who, like Kathy Griffin, who
Yeah.
sent out these horrible
Kathy
tweets,
Griffin, absolutely.
that are called doxing. Where you like to say to somebody.
And who's the dude who said
they'll get their
something
name
about
and address with
the
idea of being
punchable
that somebody's
face?
Going to show up and possibly do physical harm.
I mean, that,
How do those lawsuits compare? And we'll
I mean,
wrap
they
it up.
had people out there stalking the school and whatnot. So I'm fascinated by this one. I'm so glad that this kid is fighting back. Okay, enough of that one. Let's see. Let me click these out of the way so we can get in there. Hey, you know what? It is almost 10 minutes. It's just past 10 minutes to the hour. So let's get into Twitter trends today because you know what? That's what we do around here. It's time for Twitter trends. I don't have theme music for it yet. Let me transition over here so I can see not you know what I mean. Get myself on the screen. Let's get into Twitter trends, see what's going on in the world today. What are we going to be talking about today in the world? So, and if you didn't already know, so a movie came out recently, I believe it was last Thursday, called Captain Marvel. And there's mixed reviews. You know what? I've heard some people say, it's basically just a typical Avengers origin story. And really the reason they brought out Captain Marvel now is because it's part of the Avengers series. And so today, the number one trending topic on Twitter is Avengers Endgame. The new trailer's out for Avengers Endgame. Now, the Twitter moment says, sometimes the best that we can do is to start over. Check out the newest trailer for Avengers Endgame. The trailer has dropped, so let's do this. Let's see if it's let's see right here. Let's see, find a good one. Well, here, let's start with this one. We're gonna span this though.
I fought my way out of that cave, became Iron Man. Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed. None of us can go back.
Looks like they're gonna tie all these stories into this one. I haven't seen the whatever this is the second part of Infinity Wars, but let's finish the trailer here before I hope it'll get a strike for this. I don't think you can get a strike for putting a trailer in. Here's my problem. You can't really see the full screen there, but all right, we're just gonna do it. This full screen.
All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do...
You got a haircut.
...is to start over.
I saw all these people die.
Oh, now that's spoilers for me because I haven't seen the other one. So, okay, apparently the Hawk dude died. Okay, all right, I'm gonna keep going.
I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Okay,
even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. Whatever it takes.
Dude, what's with the mohawk?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
All right. Falcon, yeah, Falcon.
I like this one.
Okay, yeah, I know Falcon, I loved that character when I was a kid. Anyway. I was a comic book kid. Back when all these were just comic books and they weren't movies. Back when they were, I was a big X-Men fan too. But anyway, so hey, there's the trailer. Got to get fired up. Now that trailer did get me fired up for this movie. Okay, and I haven't even seen. I got to go see Infinity Wars, and as far as Captain America, I know that Brie Larson screwed up the press for that and whatever. But like I said, and I haven't seen it yet. I decided that I don't see a whole lot of movies in theaters anymore anyway. I usually wait till they come out on video and I just watch it on my giant TV in the family room over there. But, I heard it wasn't terrible. Had some lines in it that made you groan. But you know what? Let's just hope that Endgame is as good as this trailer looks, because the trailer looked pretty good. Of course, they can make trailers look great for anything. I like, if you like the superhero movies, you just got to go see it. So anyway, let's get back on to trending on Twitter, because that was number one. Wait, what happened here? Oh, here we go. Okay, number 2 on Twitter, Pi Day. It is Pi Day. If you're It's when the world of mathematics and desserts collide on Pi Day. Eating pie is how some people are celebrating the mathematical constant. Pi Day is observed each year on March 14th as 3, 1, and 4 are the first 3 significant digits of pi. You know what? Shoot, if I didn't have a basketball game tonight, I might even bake a pie today. But it's a good day for pie. So go to your favorite. Now it's weird. A lot of the baker squares. Now, if let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people in the chat are closer to my age than let's say than Jaeger Ponies. By the way, y'all, if you didn't know, it is Jaeger Pony's birthday. Everyone say, it's funny because I know that on like Lords of the Night, they always sing happy birthday to everybody. But I am, they do it kind of in a fun, cringy way, and I can't do that. I usually try to sing really well when I sing, even though sometimes I sing as a joke. But I am happy birthday to Jaeger Pony. Everyone give, well, that F thing. Give Jaeger the F for happy birthday. How's that sound? Throw an F out there. But anyway, so if you can't bake a pie yourself, go to Baker Square or Perkins, or who else makes pies? There's a chain out east. It's like a restaurant chain similar to that does pie. I got an idea. Yeah, throw an F up for Jaeger Pony's birthday in the chat. Happy birthday. And then also, tell me your favorite restaurant where you would go to get a piece of pie. Okay? Your favorite restaurant to go get a piece of pie. Now, around here, it's Baker Square. It used to be called Poppin' Fresh, because in fact, that's what my wife calls her dad. She talks to her dad every day, and she goes, "Hey, Poppin' Fresh, how you doing?" But then they changed their name to Baker Square, or Baker Square bought them out. And I also used to go. Another good place was Perkins. That's a good place to get pie. And then obviously there's my favorite place to get pie is like any small town where you go to just their local restaurant. And like, this is something my wife and I do a lot. If we're driving somewhere, we will purposely stop in a small town, and then we'll just go ask somebody, "Hey, where would you go to get lunch here today? What's a good place around here to get lunch?" And then the local usually tell you a restaurant, and 99 times out of 100, it's going to be really good. And those kind of restaurants, when you just go into a small town, go to a small town diner, and they probably have a really good pie for some reason. So Amish Bakery a mile from my house, local chicken joint. I used to work at Perkins, Chadwick. Yeah, Perkins still has good pie. There's a Perkins not too far from my house. Oh yeah, Village Inn too. Village Inn, Village Inn now though, a lot of Village Inns have Baker Square pies instead of Village Inn pies for some reason. I was in Omaha, and we went to Village Inn, and they featured Baker Square pies. So I'm not sure if they have a relationship or what, but obviously you do though. Pete's Pie Company. Okay, don't live in a small town. Yeah, I don't live in a small town either. I live in the Twin Cities, but my wife and I, just on a lark, purposely just go to small towns, just to see what's in them or whatever. Like one day she actually was growing up in Alexandria, Minnesota. One day we just drove up there just on a lark, just to go check out Alexandria and see the big statue of Big Ole. I actually have a video that I'm making about that trip, so I'll put that on my other channel. I'll let you know when that's up. Anyway, so that's number 2 trending on Twitter today is Pi Day. Number 3, Beto. Beto O'Rourke announces his 2020 presidential bid. Is it just me? Is it just me? Is it just me? Or didn't Beto O'Rourke just lose a Senate race? Oh, this guy, it's just odd. It's just odd that this dude who just lost a Senate race is now running for president. I don't get it. Beto O'Rourke, I'm running to serve you as the next president. The challenges we face are the greatest in living memory. No person can meet them on their own. Only this country can do that. And only if we build a movement that includes all of us. Say you're in. BetoO'Rourke.com. Let's listen. God, you know what? Now, this is a 3-minute and 29-second video. I am not going to listen to the entire 3-minute and 29-second video, but let's just listen to about a minute of it and see if I can stand this.
Amy and I are happy to share with you that I'm running to serve you as the next president of the United States of America.
Why? Why should I vote for a guy? Why would I vote for you, Beto? You were a one-term Texas legislator and lost to Ted Cruz in Texas. Why all of a sudden should you be my star?
This is a defining moment of truth for this country and for every single one of us.
The other thing that getting to me, that it's just kind of a theme that comes up in every election, and I maybe maybe it's just because I'm finally in that age where I've been through several elections. I'm going to put Beto up here. I didn't realize I hadn't put him up there yet. I've been through several elections, and every single time some candidate says, "This is the most important election of our lifetime." You know what? If every election is the most important election of our lifetime, then no election is the most important election of our lifetime. The only reason they say that is because they want to make themselves the most important candidate of your lifetime because they're trying to win. Anyway, more Beto.
The challenges that we face right now, the interconnected crises in our economy, our democracy.
What's the crisis in our economy right now? I'm sorry, I keep stopping it.
And our climate have never been greater, and they will.
Crisis. Everyone, and this was made me a crisis. And they always talk about fear-mongering tactics among some candidates, but every single candidate is using fear-mongering tactics. That's a fear tactic. It's a crisis. It's a crisis. We're all gonna die.
Will either consume us or they will afford us the greatest opportunity to unleash the genius of the United States of America. In other words, this moment of peril produces perhaps the greatest moment of promise for this country and for everyone inside of it. We can begin by fixing our democracy and ensuring that our government works for everyone and not just for corporations.
Okay, I don't want to distract you here, but let me ask you this rather than I'm not distracting you. Is his constant hand movement distracting to you? Because it's distracting the hell out of me. Is that just me? I don't know.
We can invest in the dignity of those who work and those who seek to work. It never stops moving. We can ensure that every single American can see a doctor and be well enough to live to their full potential. And all of us, wherever you live, can acknowledge that if immigration
Stop moving your hand.
It's the best possible problem for this country to have.
You don't have
we should ensure that there are.
He's emphasizing every word. I don't get it. You don't have to emphasize every word. Emphasize the things that are important. No, was that him? No, that was Mario Cuomo. The question Tyrai Deos is asking, isn't this the guy who said America was never great? No, that was not Mario Cuomo. That's Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. and then he, I think he realized, if you listen to that kind of entire section of that speech when Andrew Cuomo said that, I think he realized he screwed up by he knew that was going to be the soundbite, because after that he kind of backtracked a little bit in the same speech, but still that's not the soundbite you really want to have.
Lawful paths to work, to be with family, and to flee persecution. Okay. We can listen to and lift up rural America. We can work on real justice reform and confront the hard truths of slavery and segregation and suppression in these United States of America.
Beto, come on, dude. That... So that was Beto pandering to the black community. You know, I wish, rather than, what did he say here? Let's go back just a little bit, and then I'm not going to listen to any more of this. Okay, work on real justice reform. I think that we are working on that. You know, I mean, at least they've got with the First Step Act or whatever. And you know, even if you don't like Trump, someone's got to give him credit for that. Somebody, you know, what's the dude's name? We talked about him the other day. Anyway, some people are giving him credit for that, and then they get dragged onto the carpet because they're giving credit for that, and you know, that's just too bad. Anyway, but listen to this again.
On real justice reform and confront the hard truths of slavery and segregation and suppression in these United States of America.
So confront the hard truths of slavery, segregation, and suppression in America. What are the hard truths of those, Beto? Beto, honestly, you're just doing that thing that pisses me off to no end. You're telling people that they can't because of those things, which those things are gone, okay? Why not focus on telling people they can and how they can and why they can, because those things are gone, okay? Is our world perfect? No, but you know what? Don't tell my kids that they can't because of something in the past. Okay? I don't tell my kids that. I'm never going to tell my kids that. I'm never going to tell my grandkids that. Okay? Now, my great-grandfather, who was born a slave, never told his kids that. Okay? My other great-great-grandfather, who was born a slave, was a slave, didn't tell my grandfather, who became an attorney during the Great Depression, that. Tell people what you can do. Tell people what the possibilities are. And maybe they'll aspire to those possibilities. Get off my screen, Beto. You dumbass. What's trending number 4? Now you done pissed me off. God, it just drives me insane. Trending number 4 is one of the Avengers named Thor. Okay, so it's about Thor and Carol Danvers meeting. That's the little part of the trailer there. Okay, so you're going to be hearing a lot about Avengers characters. I really like that. I like the trailer, though. Hey, Thursday Thoughts. Excuse me, Thursday Thoughts, not Thoughts. Thoughts is number 4. Let's find a good Thursday thought. Somebody named Omar Navarro. Okay, Omar Navarro is a Republican running against Maxine Waters in 2020, founder of the United Latino Foundation, bachelor's in criminal justice, former volunteer for LA's DA's office. Yeah, unfortunately, and I know this guy, he's pretty cool. And the problem is Maxine Waters' district is literally Maxine Waters' district. I mean, she probably owns the district for the most part. But anyway, Omar Navarro says, if we want a red wave in 2020, we must go into the communities and switch people to our side. Yeah, you're right, dude. And I am fully on board with that, Amaro. We can't reach Democrat and independent voters by just going on Fox News. Yeah, you're right. We must be on the TV shows they watch, on social media, involved in their communities. Absolutely right. It's funny. There's an article in, I think it's on Fox News website, about how the Breakfast Club, it's a radio show out of New York City, is a must stop for presidential candidates. That's that show that Charlemagne the God, I'll see if I can find it here, and a couple other people on. And Hillary Clinton went on there. That's the hot sauce radio show. That's when Hillary Clinton brought out the hot sauce. She brought out some hot sauce. A lot of good that did her. But then also that's the same show. And I think that's the show that oh God, why am I blanking on everybody's names today? Who's the senator from California? The woman that was talking about how she smoked dope and back when she was in college, but also when she listened to, she was listening to Tupac and Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg and Tupac didn't have albums out yet. Thank you, Kamala Toe Harris. Yeah. That's the show that she went on. But I would love to see Trump go on the Breakfast Club. That would be a trip. Oh man. In fact, I would love to see, and it ain't gonna happen, but I would love to see Trump go on the late night talk shows just like Obama used to do when he was president. And just see the difference in how they interview him. That would just be the chuckle, because they'd all be, it's going to be a hard interview if it's Trump. Whereas with Obama, every time Obama went on the shows, it was one of those, how do you feel? Is what, the tongue bath interview is what I call it. Anyway, Thursday thoughts. I don't think I will ever tire of tracking Lilac's walk into nursery. Check out the timing. Oh. She's physically disabled. What's the word they like to use now? Differently abled. She has braces on her legs. Good for this girl. That's inspiring, because you know what? She's excited to go into school. So that's cool. Let's find a good Thursday thought that we can leave on this topic on, though. That's a good one. Remember, fear doesn't exist anywhere except in the mind. Dale Carnegie. Okay. It's not the age that makes you wiser. It's the struggle. Hell yeah. I'm telling you, now that I'm getting old, I kind of figured out all those things that my mom and dad used to talk about. It's funny. The older you get, the smarter your kids think you are too. Or the older they get, the smarter your kids think you are. That's always funny too. All right. What else is trending on Twitter real quick after Thursday Thoughts? 3/14 day. That's Pi Day. Kate Bishop. What's Kate Bishop? War Machine. Oh, Kate Bishop's one of the Avengers. She's the what? Kate Bishop. Who is Kate Bishop? It's Bishop's daughter. So, does she have a character? Okay. We're getting Kate Bishop in the MCU. I didn't follow him that far into the comic book. Yeah, no, Hawkeye's daughter. That's Hawkeye, but apparently his daughter's name was Kate Bishop. And why I said Bishop is because Bishop's Hawkeye's last name. Sometimes people call him Bishop too. Anyway. All right, Kate Bishop, Birch Bayh. If you don't know who Birch Bayh is, he was the Indiana senator who championed Title IX. He was the author of two major constitutional amendments, as well as legislation that dramatically improved women's rights in classrooms. Senator Birch Bayh from Indiana. He has passed away at age 91. Rest in peace, Birch Bayh. Okoye. Oh, trending with Thor, and so more of the Avengers stuff. Why is Okoye the only character on the poster without the name of her actress at the top? Because she's black. Oh, fuck. Well, you know what? Still interesting poster to speculate about, because Thor and Okoye are the only two characters looking in the other direction. Is it because they have a hard time not going on a revenge spree? And is that part of the fantastic logo on the BG? On the BG. I don't see it. Anyway. So, that's interesting. Everyone's looking one way except for Thor and Okoye. Anything else about Okoye? Okay, why is everyone looking out at the left but Okoye and Thor? Wow, that's no, you know. Oh, because there's why they reused a recycled their Black Panther character poster, and this irritates. You know what? People got a bitch about something. People got a bitch about something. Hey, take it easy, Captain Brambles. Thanks for being here. Nice having you. All right. Isaiah Cromwell is the running back. Okay, don't care. Denai Guerrera. What's Denai Guerrera? Oh, more Avengers. Everything Avengers is going to be everything Avengers is going to be trending today. Robert Francis. What's this? Oh, that's Beto O'Rourke. You know, it's funny. How come no one's complaining about Beto O'Rourke's cultural appropriation by using a nickname Beto? Give me a break. Robert Francis O'Rourke. Okay, he's going to be trending today a lot. Oh, by the way, one of the Gambino crime family people got killed. That's why he's trending. The head of the Gambino crime family was shot multiple times outside his home on Staten Island and taken to the hospital in critical condition, news outlets reported. Police confirmed Cali died of his injuries. He is the first New York crime boss to die in a targeted killing since 1985. Man. Frank Cali is his name. Let's see if we get an article on this. Yeah, he was, man, multiple shots. Okay. Frank Cali, reputed boss of the Gambino organized crime family, was fatally shot Wednesday night outside his Staten Island home. The 53-year-old had ties to the Inzarella mafia family in Palermo, Sicily, was taken to Staten Island University North Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police say Cali was standing outside his white SUV when he was ambushed by a driver in a blue pickup truck. He was shot 6 times before reportedly being run over. No arrests have been made. The fire department in New York responded at 9:18 p.m. Blah blah blah. The Gambino family was once among the most powerful criminal organizations in the U.S., but federal prosecutions in the 1980s and 1990s sent its top leaders to prison and diminished its reach. Cali had been considered a unifying figure in the crime family in the years after John Gotti was convicted and sent to prison by cooperating mob witnesses. Unlike the well-dressed dapper Don of the late 80s and early 90s, Cali had kept a low profile. Wow. There's still crime... Still some, that organized crime shit still goes on. That's pretty wild, man. That's crazy. All right. So, yeah. I got to make a movie. Let's see. Tornado Watch. Where's there a Tornado Watch? For parts of Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. So, everyone, if you're in those areas, looking right along those borders there, you see that on the screen. Make sure you're paying attention to your weather alerts. Andrew Weissman. What did Andrew Weissman do? Oh, good. Let's find out. New Andrew Weissman, special counsel Mueller's top prosecutor, is leaving the office in the coming weeks. A source close to Weissman tells NBC News. And David Archie, Mueller's top FBI investigator, has also left the team as he was named as FBI Richmond's agent in charge. So the guys in the team are leaving the team. And so it's we're pretty sure that this crap is over, at least from the FBI standpoint. Of course, every House committee on the planet is trying to subpoena records from everyone in the Trump administration. So they're going to be screwing around with Trump until they get him out of there. So, but I'm pretty sure the Mueller report's going to be a big nothing burger. More on Endgame. Let's see. Steve Mnuchin said if Congress sends a request to President Trump for tax returns. Oh, this is interesting. Mnuchin to consult lawyers. If lawmakers seek Trump tax returns. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said if Congress sends him a request for President Donald Trump's tax returns, he'll consult with the agency's legal department and follow the law. I haven't received the request, he said Thursday in response to a question during the House Ways and Means Committee hearing. If you have a request for me, I'll be happy to accept it. Democrats who now control the committee are eager to get the returns and are easing their way into an almost certain legal battle. Trump broke decades of tradition by refusing to release the documents during the 2016 campaign and has continued to do so. You know, it's a little known fact, but it's not required. And I'm pretty sure tax law requires that the tax services cannot release your taxes to the public. They're trying to make it's funny because they're trying to make a law because Trump hasn't released his taxes. And they did have partial parts of his tax. I remember when Rachel Maddow thought she had this big exclusive and the tax returns really didn't say shit other than, didn't say anything, he hadn't done anything wrong, but it was an old return. But my point was that if Congress starts saying that you have to, that you're going to be required to submit your taxes to run for president, then they need to make that a law for every federal office that you can run for. And I know that they're not going to do that because too many of them people in Congress have big ass skeletons in their closet. I'm just saying, huge skeletons in their closet. In fact, Nancy Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi has never made her tax returns public. And, I'd really be interested to see hers, or Maxine Waters, or Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, who's never had a job except for being in Congress, and yet he has 3 houses and drives a $220,000 car. Just curious. The Democratic Socialist has 3 houses and drives a $200,000 car. That's interesting. That's interesting. Anyway, back into Twitter trends. Okay, that's it. Anything else that's not? Okay. This is the last one that I'm going to read because I was bookmarking the one. Lara Trump. Why is Lara Trump trending? Trump quotes daughter-in-law Lara Trump's criticism of Democrats' probe. President Trump cited Lara Trump's Fox News interview. Because Donald Trump mentioned it. Okay, you know what? I think we're going to... this is becoming a daily thing. And I said, whenever Donald Trump tweets something, it ends up in trending on Twitter. It's 12,500 comments, 13,000 retweets, 51,000 likes. Here's the tweet. Democrats, we'll just do the Trump tweet of the day because it's the one that has something trending. Democrats are frantic to throw something else at the president. That's why you saw those 81 subpoenas. It's ridiculous. Just because you're still upset over an election that happened 2.5 years ago, you should not be allowed to ruin people's lives like this. That's a quote of Lara Trump that Donald Trump tweeted. And then she retweeted Donald Trump's tweet. And the responses are probably predictable. Let's see. Steve Mays. Their requests for information, not for subpoenas. But responses like this might well turn them into subpoenas. Well, you can subpoena my penis. Robert McGuire. The Trump Fox News synergy is in particularly sharp contrast when Trump is quoting his daughter-in-law, who works for his re-election campaign, in a tweet from a segment he's watching on Fox News. Oh, yay. Yeah, whatever. And then there's Shannon Bream being interviewed on Fox, blah, blah, blah. It's interesting. This whole thing, all this thing, you know what? And remember, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm just saying. And I didn't vote for Hillary either. I voted for a rock. I voted for a fiery rock coming from the sky to destroy us all. Everyone was so angry that Trump won. And that's what it's all about. You took Hillary Clinton's God-given right to be the first woman president of the United States. And so you need to be destroyed for that. The whole Russia thing. I've been listening to a lot of voices about the Russia probe. The whole Russia thing has been bullshit from the start. I'm just saying. And you know what? And it's not just me. It's not just Fox News who says that. There are plenty of liberal pundits who's saying this is nothing. It's all smoke and mirrors because Hillary lost. Hillary Clinton is probably, you know what, now that, and now, you know, so we keep hearing about the college scandal, but how much, remember yesterday I gave you all an assignment? Did any of you check the news station yesterday? Did anyone besides Fox News talk about the testimony from Lisa Page as part of one of their top stories yesterday? If they did, let me know in the chat. Did anyone talk about Lisa Page? Because that was a big story that I'm pretty sure got ignored, or maybe a one-liner. Lisa Page said that the Department of Justice ordered the FBI to quash the probe on Hillary's server, not to charge her. Even though when Comey came out and did that big dog and pony show press conference, he laid out every single piece of evidence they had that Hillary Clinton broke the law. And yet said at the end that no one would ever prosecute this. Well, you know what? There's a certain person who just went back to jail named Chelsea Manning. Because Chelsea Manning had some classified documents that when she was back when he was serving in the military, she possessed that she shouldn't have possessed. And that's why she went to prison in the first place. She stole some documents and they were sent to WikiLeaks. And I mean, there's a kid who took a selfie on a nuclear sub that went to prison for a year because it's illegal to have classified information, and that sub was this was considered classified information. Hillary Clinton took stuff from secured government facilities and had them on her a private server that was unsecured for 6 months in her basement. Special access intelligence, which is higher than top secret. Top secret information on an unsecured server for the first 6 months that she had it. And then they finally secured it. But it was like running on, the server was running like on Windows 7 or something like that. I mean, and her BlackBerry was connected to that while she was traveling in Russia, China, and BlackBerries can be hacked while she was Secretary of State. Now, this is all stuff Comey said was there. any other human being in the United States of America would have been prosecuted for having unsecured special access program, top secret information outside of secured government servers, except for Hillary Clinton. The Justice Department, run by Loretta Lynch, told the FBI to squash this. And so Comey did. And now we have another person who was part of that whole thing who said that in testimony to Congress. Now, we're supposed to forget about Hillary Clinton because she lost and we're never supposed to talk about her again. And she, you know what? Trump's president. We should focus on him because Hillary Clinton we shouldn't even be talking about her anymore. Really? We shouldn't be talking about her anymore? Really? Is that your answer? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. Are you serious? Anyway, so back to the Trump tweet. House Democrats have launched an investigation into alleged corruption, obstruction of justice, and abuse of power by President Trump. So what's the point of the Mueller probe? Again, this is part of politics I don't like. They're not going to like the outcome of the Mueller investigation, so now they're going to do their own probe. What are they going to find that Mueller didn't find? But Kyle Griffith, who loves this idea, knew House Judiciary Committee has sent more than 80 letters demanding docs from family, business associations, political confidants, and others with ties to Trump, launching a sprawling probe into whether he and his administration have engaged in obstruction and corruption. Okay, great. Why? Okay, business associates, political confidants. You know, it's like I said. I always laugh when he calls it a witch hunt. But what else is it? Here's Seth Abramson, all the people they sent him to: Alan Garden, Alexander Nix, Al Weisenberg, American Media Incorporated, Anatoly Samakhranov, Andrew Intrater, Annie Donaldson, Brian Pascal, Brittany Kaiser, Cambridge Analytics. Carter Page. God. I don't know how many of you follow this. And this might take a whole day. It's a fishing expedition. You know? Good God. I've had enough. I have had enough. Whew. All right. I only got a couple more minutes. Let me see if I can find one good headline for today. I already talked about Elizabeth Warren, the DCC. Did any of you see the, now they're calling her, Alexandria Occasional Cortex. That's the memes. Alexandria Occasional Cortex. We'll finish with this one. She had a little meltdown yesterday. If you didn't see her questioning of the Wells Fargo executive, I happened to turn that on when it was live, and I was gonna laugh my ass off, honestly. Let's look at this because this is funny, I think. Oops, sorry.
So Wells Fargo hasn't financed any company associated with the caging of children.
Here we go.
Mr. Sloan, why was the bank involved in the caging of children and financing the caging of children to begin with?
I don't know how to answer that question because we weren't.
So in finance,
wait, watch this. This is funny. So she was Wells Fargo was there because I'm not even sure why Wells Fargo was there. There was a hearing. Let's see. Let's read this. During a House Financial Services Committee meeting hosted by Chairwoman Maxine Waters on Tuesday, Democratic Socialist Representative Alexandria Occasional Cortex. Okay, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, New York, attempted to take down Wells Fargo CEO Timothy Sloan on the issue of climate change and ended up inspiring widespread backlash for her non sequitur questions. Amid the wave of criticism for her performance at the hearing, the freshman representative and former bartender issued a series of tweets pushing back against those poking holes in her global warming logic. And so this was her, the first question was, why did they finance the caging of children, well, just listen to this again.
Mr. Sloan, why was the bank involved in the caging of children?
Now that's, oh, her logic is so skewed here. Okay, so what she's saying, and you might get into this, she's trying to say that they were financing the facilities where kids were caged. No, she wasn't. Anyway, listen to this.
And financing the caging of children to begin with.
I don't know how to answer that question because we weren't.
So in finance, you were financing and involved in debt financing of CoreCivic and Geo Group, correct?
For a period of time, we were involved in financing one of the firms. We're not anymore, and the other. I'm not familiar with the specific assertion that you're making, but we weren't directly involved in that.
Okay, so these companies run private detention facilities run by ICE, which is involved in.
First of all, the detention facilities are not run by ICE. ICE is a completely different agency. The detention facilities she's concerned about are run by the Border Patrol Agency. And what happened is Wells Fargo helped, a company was looking for financing to build a facility during the Obama administration. It was one of the more it was a detention facility set up for families, the only one that Wells Fargo financed. Now, some other banks finance some of the other stuff for these companies or whatever, but the only one that Wells Fargo financed was one of those more like residential type facilities with the library and the cafeterias and bed facilities, kind of the ones that Laura Ingraham made the mistake of describing as a summer camp facility. That's the only one that they have. But listen to the rest of this real quick.
Caging children, but I'll move on.
She'll move on because they weren't part of it. That's funny. Now listen to this.
Wells Fargo was also an investor, a major investor in the Dakota Access Pipeline and the Keystone XL pipelines. They were prime investors and lenders to companies building these pipelines in defiance of Standing Rock Sue's treaty.
The pipelines that she just mentioned have not been built yet. That's the other funny thing about this. Now listen to this.
Rights to protect its water and sacred lands. They warned early on, the Lakota Sioux warned early on that the pipeline was unstable and bound to leak. Despite that, it was built anyway, and it has leaked at least 5 times. And the Keystone XL in particular had one leak that leaked 210,000 gallons across South Dakota. Since Wells Fargo financed the building of this pipeline in an environmentally unstable way.
So listen to that. That sentence doesn't even make sense. Since Wells Fargo financed the building of this pipeline in an unsafe, unsustainable way, because the sentence doesn't even make sense. You don't finance something in an unstable and unsustainable way. She doesn't know how to make a sentence. But I don't think I am convinced now, after watching the Mr. Reagan video about her, that she doesn't write anything or on her own, that she doesn't necessarily have an original thought. She has a committee that tries to figure out everything that she's going to say, because I've seen some places where there's one where this interviewer is catching her in the hallway and she can barely talk when she's not scripted. She's, I mean, worse, like, I mean, people always made fun of Obama because he was always saying, because his speeches were great, but that's because he's a great speech reader. But a extemporaneous speaker, not that great. And she is even way worse than him. Way worse. She cannot speak off the cuff to save her life. Everything she says is scripted. It's funny.
Why shouldn't the bank be held responsible for financing the cleanup of the disasters from these projects?
Which pipeline are you referring to?
Either.
So we were not involved in the financing of the XL pipeline. We were one of the...
The XL isn't built yet. That's the funny thing. It hasn't been built yet. It's in the process of being built, but it's not functioning yet.
17 or 19 banks that was involved in the financing of the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Okay, so Wells Fargo hasn't financed any company associated with the Keystone XL pipeline?
No, I didn't say that. I said we're not involved in financing that pipeline specifically.
Yeah. So yeah. So at the hearing titled
change in our environmental
at the hearing titled "Holding Mega Banks Accountable: An Examination of Wells Fargo's Pattern of Consumer Abuses." Occasional Cortex launched into a series of causally problematic accusations, attempting to blame the bank for the caging of children at the border, hypothetical spills, and when we have to reinvest in infrastructure, building seawalls from the erosion of infrastructure or cleanups, wildfires. I don't know, anyway. Amid criticism for her global warming themed line of questions, and I can't call her, it's hard to say, Ocasio-Cortez, took to Twitter to defend herself at length. She began a series of tweets retweeting footage posted by C-SPAN along with a quote from her back and forth with Sloan. So, hypothetically, if there was a leak from the Dakota Access Pipeline, why shouldn't Wells Fargo pay for the cleanup of it, since it paid for the construction of the pipeline itself? Because we don't operate the pipelines. Duh! And so there, she says, "This right here is the problem," tweeted Occasional Cortex. "Institutions can engage in unlimited financing of fossil fuels, building unstable pipelines, reaping profits, but when the bill comes to clean up oil spills and fix damages, they can conveniently kick the can. So who will pay for climate change? Well, first of all, the people who built it would end up paying for the... Jesus Christ, she's a moron. Seawalls will have to go up as seas rise. Or who will pay for climate change? Seawalls will have to go up as the seas rise. Wildfires to put out, roads repaved, nascent technology to explore, electrical grids replaced," she added in another tweet. "It's too late for us to not have to deal with the impact of climate change. At this point, we shouldn't be debating if we do it. It's how. The difference here is we already know about climate change," she claimed in another post about an hour later. "We know that more fossil fuels will harm us. Banks know. Fossil fuel companies know. Government, and politicians know. It's not an accident. It's cause and effect. We knew DAPL would leak. And we know the next generation is in danger." Wow. Who always complains about politicians who fearmonger? Fear-mongering. I've heard that phrase now and then. Fear-monger. Oh, that's what this is. Fear-mongering. And she wasn't done. "With the way things are structured now, if the banks don't care, no one cares. They're simply not incentivized to, no matter the damage to people, families, and the environment. We must address issues after the damage is done, but we can't afford that with climate." So anyway, oh, good Lord. Then someone told her about, well, if a bartender serves too many people, serves somebody too many drinks, are they going to be accountable for the incident? Well, yeah, bartenders can be accountable for that, but that's, again, this is like comparing apples and ice machines. I mean, they're totally, completely different subjects. Anyway, but her that questioning of Sloan just was laughable. Let's see. Here's another one. Maybe this is another exchange. Oh no, this is the caging of children one. Where's the other one? That's the pipeline one. Okay, that's it. So anyway, I'm going to have to make that the show for today because it's time for me to go. And I'm just, I started behind schedule, but I finished behind schedule because I do that for you. I try to keep going. But there's so many things going on in the world that it's hard to keep up. But at least you got an idea what's going to be trending today. Tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about a tweet from my friend Mike Rowlands, aka Music Man Mike. Now I get along with Michael, but it's a contentious get along. But we're going to be talking about a stupid tweet he did yesterday about trans women in sports. So look forward to that. Hi, Irish Rose. I'm glad you're here. I knew you were lurking back there somewhere. Oh, and Cynical Lindsay too. And Grill and Pirate Pete. Oh my goodness, I haven't been keeping up. Johnny Hellcat. Hi. There's a lot of people in here. And I didn't say hi to Black Romeo, though I did have a chat with you a little bit later. So thank you all for being here. If you only knew how much I appreciate you all for coming each and every day. We are here every day. Monday, well, not every day, Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT for those of you who live in other parts of the world, trying to figure out when we're on. And you know what? That's it for the show today. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks again for Jaeger Pony for the fantastic super chat. That was so kind of you. And happy birthday, Jaeger Pony. Happy birthday. Big 35, man. The big 3-5. That's you're getting up there, man. That's cool. So, anyway, I really appreciate y'all. We've had a lot of fun today, but I gotta go. My name is P-Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye.